What if you found yourself old, sick, homeless, or abused, and all you needed was someone to give you shelter and heal your wounds? Someone to give you love and a second chance. There are over 3.5 million dogs and cats euthanized in shelters each year, and over 2 million of them are cats, considered too sick, too old, or just one too many to save. There are nearly 5,000 shelters in the United States, and in most of them, Frazier would have been considered too difficult to care for.
When I first met Frazier, he was in this tiny little room, sort of quarantined because he was FIV. He also caught my eye because he was a little funny looking. He had one eye, clearly been kind of beaten up, and probably not what most people would be looking for in a cat. I really didn't see his face or his health issues. I just saw this guy that seemed to like me. I have thought long and hard whether Frazier would have survived in another shelter, and he probably would not have. I don't think he would have been adopted, and I hate to say it, but I think he may not have made it in another shelter, and somebody like me would never have gotten to know him the way I have. Well, the Gifford Cat Shelter is a great place. They're a no-kill shelter, but to me it's more than that. The people are really dedicated and just do whatever they can for these cats and to find, you know, a human to connect them with. And that's just great for the humans and the cats.
In other shelters, Louise would have been taking up too much space for too long. She spent 7 years at Gifford, nearly half of her life waiting for that special someone.
So we went over, went to the shelter, found Louise. We just start petting her for 5 seconds. She looks up, gives us like about half a second's warning before she just goes whack, and just like bats at Crystal's hand. And we're like, oh, okay. Well, we'll check out the other cats, leave her alone for a minute. We look over and she's just giving me these googly eyes, just staring at me. And I go over, I let her sniff my hand and pet her, and she just starts loving it. So we're just like, wow, that's strange. But it was something that, given one opportunity when she was so friendly to me in particular, we were able to see through the veneer of the defense that she put up at the shelter. And that allowed us to actually see that once we got her home, or believe that once we got her home, that she would actually be a great cat for us. The Gifford Cat Shelter definitely is amazing in the way that they can keep a cat for 7 years or longer. And the fact that they can draw in people to see the opportunity that there is in adopting an older cat, and that there are some significant advantages to just being patient and actually looking to find the perfect match is something invaluable to, I guess, the entire adoption process. Giving up on something just because it takes time is just not a great response, and to put forth the effort to make sure that there is that opportunity is something that's unique in the way that Gifford Cat Shelter actually operates beyond other shelters.
Ginger belonged to a developmentally disabled couple who were forced to move and were no longer able to care for her. She was old, unhealthy, and with nowhere to go until their social worker found Gifford.
When Ginger was brought to the Gifford Cat Shelter, she was an elderly cat who really had a lot of health issues. And one of the things that this couple who brought Ginger to us very much appreciated was that we assured them that we would care for Ginger the way they would care for Ginger. She had thyroid issues, she had neurological issues, she had dental issues. And honestly, this is a cat that at any other shelter, this cat would have been euthanized. So during Ginger's stay at the shelter, we did everything possible to make this cat very comfortable. And one of the things Ginger loved was our outdoor enclosure. And towards the end of her life, when it was getting harder for her to walk around, to get around, she wasn't feeling well, we would actually bring her food outside and give her her outdoor dining experience the way she loved, because we wanted her to be happy. Towards the end of her life, as she got sicker, she did end up having a stroke, and we had to make the very difficult choice to euthanize her because she, at that point after the stroke, she couldn't walk and she couldn't eat. But we were there for her the entire time. We held her like our own cat. We were there for her for the euthanization, and then after she died, we memorialized her at the shelter, and we made a marker for her, and we had a little ceremony, and we remembered Ginger. And I think this ultimately speaks to Gifford, because a cat to us is not a number. A cat to us is a life, and every life has value, and that's how we approach every cat that crosses the threshold of Gifford. It doesn't matter if they're old, it doesn't matter if they're young, it doesn't matter if they're sick. We'll take a sick cat and we'll make that cat better. We take a neglected cat and we give it love. We take a scared cat and we teach them trust. We take sad cats and we make them happy. That's what we do at Gifford.
We believe there's a family for everyone. At Gifford, each life is worth saving. And to that one life, that's all that matters. Our cats rely on you. Please give generously today.